Gallipoli Diary of Colonel Joseph Mitu, 27 April 1915. We've been here at Gallipoli since the landing 2 days ago, and all this time we have been under a heavy rain of deadly shrapnel. The Turks have been showering us with bullets, and my men have been ordered to run into them. This was an ill-conceived idea from the start. The fighting is chaos. I can see stretcher bearers carrying the wounded. The sound coming from the battlefield is like a volcano erupting around me. All I can do is watch my heroic men run to their painful deaths. We have little rations and reinforcements are finding it hard to reach the shore, because they get fired on by those malicious Turks. But even when they do, they get cut down by snipers. Most of the mates I made in Egypt have been killed, and only my mate John has survived. We are both hiding in some bushes so we don't get killed by those ruthless Turks. 28th of June 1915. It has been over 2 months and I'm starting to forget what it feels like back home. The trenches are filled with rats and mud. What did I do to deserve this? I hate this place. All we ever do is fight over a little bit of land.
And we're sailing to Lemnos Island. Haven't heard anything yet, but can only see darkness. All the nurses have rest with the time that we have and wrote letters. We were told to get ready for the hard work ahead of us. It's getting closer to morning, and I've just heard a gunshot from the shores of Gallipoli. I heard it whistling through the air as it blew into shrapnel. That was when the terrifying battle started. Loud gunfire and grenades going off everywhere. I'm so frightened, I didn't even want to look out of my cabin window. The soldiers coming in had terrible injuries. Many were ripped by shrapnel. Some men had large bullet wounds from rifles. Those were the men I didn't want to treat, because I'm so scared I might do something wrong. Luckily, I was only given the men with infected cuts or dysentery and all the minor things. I was so thankful for that. After a hard-working day, I was exhausted. 27th of April, 1915. Today I awoke at 5:30 to be ready for work. I had time before work, so I wrote a letter to my family saying, I've just arrived at Lemnos Island and the work is a bit hard. I am missing you all. Hope to see you soon. Love, Clara. Work started and men were flowing in like water in a stream. As the death toll got higher, so did our nasty stench. The smell was overwhelming and I often had to cover my face because of it.
The Gallipoli Diary of Captain Bob Pomare on the 25th of April 1915. We landed this morning at Anzac Cove, Gallipoli. We landed in the wrong place due to strong water currents, so this has been a disaster from the start. Even though we were under heavy fire from the Turks, we still dug out our trenches. One of the last Otago regiments had just landed. Dick Jones, my old schoolmate, was shot in the back by a Turkish rifleman. He was standing right next to me. Shrapnel was everywhere in the trench, but mostly ripping through the flesh of soldiers. One man's face was ripped apart when shrapnel exploded right next to him. The nickel demon has already claimed thousands of lives.
The Gallipoli Diary of Private Winston Cook, the 28th of July, 1915. I was on my way to Hospital Ship 80. Apparently I was hit by a 3.2098 centimetre piece of shrapnel that nearly hit an artery. When asked, I guessed that I was unconscious for about a day. Thinking of how lucky I was, I slowly wrapped a blanket around my freezing body. Once again, I fell asleep. My eyes snapped open at the ear-popping sound of men dying, crying or cursing around me. It was horrible. Confused and scared, I looked around. Calmly, I shut my eyes, then opened them. I had realized I was dreaming. When I looked up, a gentle face looked back. What was her name? Nurse Betty? No, was it Bella? Was it Bessie? Yeah, that's it. Nurse Bessie. Anyway, she told me we were on our way to Lemnos Island and that we'll be there soon.